Today is day 4 of the Love Yourself for Life video challenge. And as you can see, I smudged this all up. I don't know why. What weakness do you perceive in yourself that you feel limits your joy or success? This is related to video number 3. I feel like I accept too much as is instead of demanding what I want. There are times where I do accept things, which is like I accept how a client treats me or what a client demands of me, when I really should tell them, no, these are the limits, and you are doing scope creep, which means that I'm not getting paid as well as I should, and unfortunately I'm getting resentful of you. It also means that in accepting, I also accept like the restaurant the group decides to go to when I'd really rather go somewhere else. Which neither one of those is a good situation. It's not just the restaurants and stuff like that, but it's also let's do this at your time, your convenience instead of my time, my convenience. Let's, choose black when I'd really rather have green or whatever it may be. And that's not always a good situation. And at some levels, even if I don't say it out loud, it does become a point of contention and even resentment. Like if I had only planned to spend 3 hours on a job, and all of a sudden the client creeps and creeps and creeps on the task until I've spent 8 hours on it, then unfortunately I resent them. And the same would be even if I like the restaurant okay, the fact that I continually am the one that gives in, the one that always says, okay, it's whatever you guys decide, then unfortunately resentment does build in. So in many ways, I think that's probably something that limits my joy and success. But there are areas where I have stood up and said, no, this is exactly what I want. And that's made me a lot happier than settling. Unfortunately, in the guy department, I kept accepting guys because, you haven't dated in so many years. Are you being picky? You're probably being picky, and you're not letting you're just being picky. So I dated these guys that really didn't treat me as well as they should. And we both knew it, and they didn't love me, and we both knew that. But that was okay because, I was dating, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be so picky that nobody wants you. So the last time that I broke up with a guy, I said, no, I will be picky. I want these qualifications right here. I want him to go to church. I want him to like kids, like dogs. I want him to be intelligent. And I want him to try and, I want these qualifications. And years later, here it was 2.5 years after that I said no more, that a friend of mine contacted me that I hadn't talked to in years. And we were both finally single at the same time. And we've started dating. And we've been dating for a year. And that's great. And I've also been picky on my dogs. I actually raised several litters of dogs for a friend, and I told her I didn't want those. I didn't want those because they weren't the intelligent dog that I wanted. They weren't the dog that had the energy and the creativity that my odd and very crazy little puppy does, or even my older dog. And I'm glad that I was picky. I'm glad that I stood up for what I wanted. And I think you should too. Because, if you're always accepting of everybody else's wishes, then unfortunately it does start to hurt you. So that's my video for today, and I'm trying to keep it under 5 minutes. So I will say I love you and thank you for watching.